Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rowan, the Lyranwitch. Today we're going to be getting another collective message for you. Welcome to all of you new subscribers. It's so exciting to see so many new people showing up, and I'm very grateful you're here. And to all of you returning subscribers, what's up? Alright, so today we are going to be getting some messages from the dogs, okay? The reason I wanted to get into the dog collective is because I just had a dream today, actually, that somebody is seeking out a service animal. And it's very important that I pass this along to whoever this person is. So I just want to start with this message before I even touch anything else. There's somebody looking for a service animal who's doing a temperament test right now. There's two dogs that are in the temperament test. One of them was a lab. It looked like a yellow lab in the dream, but it could be any kind of lab or golden mix, okay? This is the dog that you would expect to pass the temperament test. The other dog was a shelter dog, and it was a Cocker Spaniel mix or a Spaniel Vizsla mix, okay? And nobody expects this dog to be able to do well in this temperament test. But whenever the dogs start the test, the lab does terribly and wants to, this lab wants to stay at home. This wants to be an at-home dog. This is not a lifetime where this dog wants to be of service in this way, okay? The Cocker Spaniel mix is so ready to work for this person. This dog is going to pass with flying colors. There's not going to be a single hitch or issue with this dog whenever it takes its public access test, its temperament test, all of the different tests that it has to take with the trainer to ensure that it'll be a good match for this person. It's going to do amazing. This dog wants to be of service to this person, okay? So whoever that is for, the dog that you don't think is going to do well wants to work for you, all right? And you have a soul contract with this dog for it to assist you in this lifetime with this. Whoever that is for, my heart goes out to you. I also have a service animal, and I don't typically get messages for other people who have them. So it's obviously very important, and I wish you a lot of confidence moving into this, because having a service animal brings its own different type of lifestyle that people do not understand, and it can be really difficult, but it's also the most rewarding thing you'll ever do. So yeah, this Cocker Spaniel wants to be there for you. It is so ready, and its soul was speaking to me in the dream. All right? Literally boosting self-esteem. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to hop into the rest of the reading. That's not going to be the whole reading today. This is going to be a message from the entire dog collective of what they want people to know. Now, keep in mind, I actually do one-on-one animal communication readings. What that means is I'm connecting with animals that have either crossed the rainbow bridge in its mediumship, they've already passed on, or more frequently, they're in a body currently, and they're a companion to somebody that's on the spiritual path. And this person really wants to figure out what's going on with their animal, what's going on with its behavior, if it's having strange behavior or different issues like that. And just generally what past lives you've had together. This is something I do. I don't often do the type of readings for companion animals like this, because I think it can get us into hot water. However, I'm going to do it today because I was specifically told by Spirit that the dogs want to do this, okay? But the reason I don't do it this way normally is because there are so many people who do not caretake their animals in the way that they should, don't take them to the vet, that don't, make sure that they're seeing behaviorists if their animal's having a huge issue. And to be honest with you guys, I was a dog trainer full-time for a while. And obviously dog training is still a huge part of my life because I have a service animal. And it always will be. That's like a passion of mine. So I never want to encourage people to only look at their animal as property or, just some fun thing or whatever. Like, oh, you're attracting a dog that's definitely a husky because you think huskies are so cute. No, like, it's not like that. That's not even how these kind of spiritual contracts work. And I just want you guys to know that you're never going to get valid information about your pet that's really going to assist you guys in spiritually moving forward unless you connect with them directly, whether that's through an intermediary like me at the beginning, or, hopefully on your own after you do that. Because often whenever you do speak to an animal through an intermediary, at least if you do through me, I can't speak for everybody, but one of the things that Spirit has me do is send an activation to clear the path. There's an energetic path that goes between a companion animal and their person, and that needs to be cleared and opened in order for people to really begin communicating with them in the way that they are really seeking out, okay? And this isn't something that somebody else has to do for you. I want to say that as well. That's not something that's required. You don't need anybody on your spiritual path, but it can be helpful. Really follow your intuition on that, because, like any kind of spiritual work, you don't need somebody else. I'm here to be of assistance to the people who know they would benefit from that because they're doing the work and they're focused on other things, or they're struggling in a certain regard. And I want to help them be able to do what they want to do and what they need to do to be able to do these things on their own. It's always helpful to have somebody else bounce back what Spirit is telling you and validate it. But I never want you to be fully reliant on somebody else that isn't the divine, right? Okay, that's my disclaimer. So, with that being said, we're going to get into what the dogs want to tell us as a group today. This is for anybody, whether or not you have a dog, it's totally okay, because the dogs work with the entire collective of humanity, all light workers, all people on the ascension path, because we are all connected. One of the things that the dogs want us to know, first and foremost, is that their galactic connection, their galactic origin, is from Lyra and Sirius. I've always gotten this message. However, their galactic connection are the wolves. Dogs are specific to Earth. I've always been told that. I'm always told that there are not dogs, there never were dogs on other planets, and that dogs specifically are an offshoot of the souls of wolves that really wanted to assist Earth, specifically Earth, in the ascension process. So it's a very special lineage that they decided on themselves, and that they really wanted to be on this path with us as well. They're different from every other animal in the kingdom, in all of the kingdoms, because of this. And I think it's really special. That's why a lot of spiritual guides come in as dogs as well, because it's really the most high vibrational wolves that have a lot of compassion for other beings that wanted to come through as dogs. They reflect the energy of ametrine because they have this angelic quality to them, because they're providing spiritual guidance by modeling it. It's one of the most compassionate things you can do, is being in the action of love and not in the words of love, right? Because love is an action, and modeling unconditional love, even to people who don't treat you well, is something that the dogs do. Not all the time, but for the most part. If you treat a dog well, they're always going to forgive you. They're a very forgiving, beautiful animal. They help us to clear stress as well. So one of the best things that you can do to assist the dogs, whether or not you have one, is to make sure that if you're interacting with them, clear yourself regularly. You're not clearing them when you do that. Keep that in mind. That's a different thing. But make sure that you're not unloading onto them, because a lot of people, whenever they come home from work or their day or whatever it is they're doing, what they do is they'll have all this pent-up stress and they don't take care of it before they leave. So they don't take care of it in their commute. They don't take care of it when they first step in the door. And they unload all that crap energy onto their dog. And it gets the dog all hyped up a lot of times. Even if it's a very calm dog, and it gets them stressed and it gets them obsessive because they're taking on all this energy, sometimes to the point where they can't clear it enough for you. And sometimes it'll make your dog really hyperactive. Like, obviously there's a difference between just a training issue, specifically like a physical training issue, that dog was never taught what to do properly, versus a dog that knows what to do but cannot calm down in time because there's an energetic interference with their person. So make sure that you are really unloading your stress before you come home to your dog or any other animal in your house, because they feel that and they're clearing that. They're clearing that for you. They're clearing that for your family. They're clearing that for your home, for your yard, for the land you're on. Like, animals are very busy. People don't realize that. Even if they're sleeping, they're in astral, clearing energy, because they are a part of Earth itself that is constantly monitoring, maintaining. They're guardians, okay? Keep that in mind. And they are willing to teach us all about grid working, which is the action of clearing and sending energy back to the Earth in a returned circuit. They teach us that. All animals teach us that, but dogs especially will teach you that. You know, dogs are protectors of the physical, and I always say cats are more protectors of the astral. So, you know, obviously if you have a dog, they're going to let you know if somebody's outside, even if they're not like a quote unquote watchdog or protector dog. A cat is going to let you know if a spirit's in your house. Some dogs will do this too, but it really depends. And again, we have Angelate coming up. Two really angelic related cards. A message from the dogs as well. I was just talking about this with dream insights. The dogs are coming through for a lot of different people right now. Again, whether or not you have a dog physically living with you, they will come through and model things in your dream or lead you to things in your dreams to let you know what to pay attention to. They, again, are mostly protectors of your physical body, your health, and the energies around your home. So often in the dream, they will lead you to things they might lead you to noticing people who bring negativity into your home, noticing entities trying to get into your home, and they'll model in different ways in the dreams as well, what these entities might cloak as, right? So pay attention to all of that. Pay attention to your clairvoyant downloads. If you live with a dog, dogs primarily speak, right, in energy first and foremost. So what you feel in your body, that's clairsentience, that's emotion, and that's sensation. They're very tactile. But they also really speak to humanity in visuals, if the dog isn't blind, okay? Sometimes if they are, they'll do the same, but it depends on the dog. But, you know, if they're hungry, you might see a food dish or start thinking about their treats or something. So pay attention to those things. There's little ways that your animals will begin to speak to you, and it's so important that we, as a collective of light workers and as Earth Guardians, really like step up and realize we're teaching our dogs English, but we're not learning our dog's language. We're not learning the tree's language. We're not learning our cat's language. Like, it's time. You know, like, they shouldn't have to do all the work anymore. And that's really what they want me to be the voice of at this time. I've been speaking for the animals for a while now, and the things that they care about and they want are often very different than what you're going to hear in the mainstream. There's plenty of reasons for that I'll get into another time. But really, they want clear communication so that this bond between humanity and the dogs can recover from this subordination complex that humanity has developed over the eons, over the thousands of years that we've been in power, in charge, which we're not, but you understand. Healing past lives is also a big deal because a lot of dogs have past lives as humans. They have past lives as angelics. They have past lives as star family for some of you, or like star beings, depending on where you came from. You know, some of you have such a close connection with your dog that you have been incarnating with your dog in one way or another since times you did not live on Earth. And, you know, they're not just property. I don't think anyone on my channel thinks that, but I'm going to say it for anyone who still does. They're not less intelligent than us. They're intelligent in a fully different direction than we are, that humans have not grasped yet. It is so important that we learn to, again, like, speak their language. Not out loud, of course, but their energetic language, their psychic language, so that we can remember that and humble ourselves That's really what the animals want. They're like, humble yourself so that you can finally balance out this earth and stop suffering so much, stop attacking each other so much. A lot of the issue that humanity is having is, this very childish, they're saying, scrapping for power. They're literally showing me two dogs fighting over a bone and forgetting the bone is there and then attacking each other. And that's humanity. That's how the dogs see humanity, because they're much older spirits than humans are. I will say that every animal that I've ever connected with, no matter how they originated, has a more ancient energy signature than humanity. We're the new kids on the block, and that's why we think we're in charge. And it's really time to humble ourselves. It's time to step into this, like, this very intuitive energy, this very receptive energy. Giving your dog, if you have one, giving your dog choice in the things they do every day is huge, because a lot of people treat their dogs as slaves and don't even think of it that way. If you don't respect your dog's biology and your dog's psychology and physiology for what they exist on this planet, bred in their DNA to do, you are treating your dog as a slave. They are not here to look cute in your yard or match your picket fence, little life, or whatever. Like, if you have a hunting dog, you need to figure out ways to satisfy your hunting dog's urge to hunt. That doesn't mean you have to take your dog hunting, but you need to find ways to quell that or assist them in exploring that, because that's literally what they're here for. Again, like, if you have a dog that's bred to, whatever your dog's lineage is, even if they're a mutt, you'll see what they really like. Dogs are meant to sniff around. They're meant to be kind of gross, like sniffing each other's butts. That's what they do. And some people really like correct their dog for literally everything. And they mean well. I'm not like trashing these people, because a lot of people don't know better. And I say that as a dog trainer and as an intuitive, okay? I've seen it. And what needs to happen is there needs to be a humbling and a re-education. It's not about humanizing the animals anymore. The animals are not here to match our expectations. It is a privilege that we get to live with them and care for them, that they allowed us. They literally allowed us to domesticate them. And they do their best to fit into our lives. But we don't always do our best to ensure that we're giving them agency and choice in the things we're doing. When you take your dog for a walk, are you allowing them to sniff things? They're in the smell museum when they're outside. Like, let them sniff. Let them piss on a couple more trees than you normally would. Make time to take them on new trails and not the same thing every day. If they want to turn right and you want to turn left, let them turn right, or make time later to turn right with them. They have so little agency in their lives right now, and they're really asking humanity, like, humble yourself, recognize us, and give us this small gift of agency, because too many of us are not. Okay? And we have this idea of how our dogs need to fit in our lives, and they won't always. And their goals and dreams and aspirations will change throughout life. You might have gotten a dog to be a working dog and found out they don't want to work after a while. Let them. It's, it can throw off your plans, but think how much it's throwing off their plans. They don't live as long as we do. They'll come back in a different way, of course, but, respect their agency is the main message I'm getting from this today. The dogs are really asking us, humble yourself. Pay attention to what we're asking you. We try as hard as we can to be polite, they're saying, and do things the way you want us to do them, but sometimes we have to act out just to get your attention, just to remind you, hey, like, I have free will too, and I'm choosing. I could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? Some of these dogs really could be a lot worse than they are. Ask them what they want and sit with them and really sense what they need. Some of them are really afraid. I'm seeing right now, as I'm channeling this information, I'm seeing a dog in a crate that is so scared because every time it's out of the crate, it's getting yelled at. No, 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 no. No shouldn't be used for your dog unless it's really doing something crazy wrong. But some people are out there correcting every single thing their dog does and giving them anxiety, and then keeping them crated all the time, or keeping them crated just when it doesn't need to happen. And I say this kindly, I say this without hate in my heart. If you really have hit a point in your life where you cannot take care of your animal, rehome them. Find somebody who can take care of them. Or, sit down and really ask yourself, can I be patient through this? Because having a dog in your life, in a lot of ways, is like having a child. And your child is not going to turn out to be the person that you want them to be. They're going to be the person they are, whether or not you want them to. Either that, or you're going to kill their spirit. It's one or the other. And the dogs really do help us reparent ourselves. They help us to take care of our children. They do all these different things for us. And they help us to have self-mastery. They help us to have more stamina in how patient we can be and how humble we can be. And they are saying, you can't see the future because we have free will. Some of you can see the future a little more than others, but that's a gift that you're given when you humble yourself. Okay? With orange calcite, we have psychological healing. Some of you have dogs that you've adopted and you've bitten off more than you can chew, and you don't know what you're doing yet. And that's okay. I'm not shaming you for that, because it can be the hardest thing in the world to live with a dog and you don't know what to do. But what I'm hearing from them is, don't give up on me unless you know you can't be patient with me. If you know that, rehome me. Find somebody who will. Send me off with love. I'll still love you. But if you know in your heart that you can muster the humility and the agency to really take care of this animal and go out of your way to change your lifestyle and not fit them into some box or label them or whatever, do it. Don't humanize them. They're not humans. And that's not a bad thing. You're going to learn from them. They need to heal their animal self, and then they'll heal their higher self. Do you understand? Whew, okay. A little bit of a dog training and spiritual rant today. I think we're going to call it there for now. I'm sure we will come back to the dogs. The dogs are such a huge part of my life. I'm so indebted to them because dogs have saved my life way more times than makes sense. So I'm sending you guys so much love and peace. I'm sending your dogs love and peace, and there is no judgment from me whatsoever. If you have questions about dog behavior and I know the answer, comment below and I will respond. The animals are a priority for me. I'm here to do this. This is what I'm on earth to do. Helping humans is a very secondary thing to me. I do my best, but I never run out of patience for animals, okay? I do have animal communication readings available and energy healing. But again, my goal is always to facilitate that to help you feel comfortable doing it, because every human on earth should know how to do this and does know how to do this as a child, and we're talked out of it. So with that being said, we're going to call it there today. Give your dogs agency. They really need it. Don't humanize them. They are different than us, but they are teachers to us. Sending love, guys.